Hello once again, I'm Ed Highland and this is WCI-TV, brought to you by Tower MSA Partners, and we're pleased to be joined by an important member of Tower MSA Partners. We have Dan Andrews, who is with us, who is the Chief Compliance Officer. Dan, thanks so much for coming by and joining us.
Certainly.
Give us some thoughts about what's new with Tower.
Yeah, thanks for asking. It's just been a phenomenal year for Tower. We've had great growth, and that's really because of the dedication of our Tower employees, who are just great professionals, as well as our client partners. We have many long-term partners, as well as some partners that have been with us less than a year. And their commitment to allowing us to do their Medicare secondary payer compliance needs is a compliment to us. We have Medicare set aside in our name, MSA in our name, but and we love MSAs and everything that goes along with that. But what we have really focused on this year, and it's something we focus on since the start of the company, but really the core mission, essentially, of what we do is settling cases. And that's the focus of what we do. And if we don't get there for the client, then that doesn't necessarily bring value to them. So we've really, especially this year, driven home the message about focusing on settlement, how we can focus what we do with Medicare set-asides and our services to that very goal. So, what underlies that is essentially quality assurance and customer service. And I don't know what you've seen, but especially post-pandemic, it's been pretty mixed across the board.
Absolutely.
At what you see, and that's part staffing issues and employee retention. So it's not something that has lots of bells and whistles to it, but it's something that we really recommitted ourselves to, is making sure that our clients have that high level of service that they should expect, and that they're also getting a quality product that is ultimately going to hopefully settle that case for them.
All of what you've been talking about really kind of falls under the umbrella of partnership.
Mm-hmm.
You have been a strong supporter of WCI-TV as a partner with WCI every year since 2015,
yes.
I guess
Yeah.
it is, which is fantastic. And so you walk the walk, talk the talk, as it were. Give us some thoughts on, if you will, the theme, and I know partnership is a part of the theme for this year.
Yeah, definitely. So like you said, we've done a theme every year, and like talking about ourselves, which I just did, but when we chose to sponsor WCI-TV, we really wanted it to be a forum for discussion. And every year we've had a different theme that stems somehow from workers' compensation or Medicare compliance. So like you said, this year we're going to be talking about the interviews that we've set up, talking about how do you maintain, how do you form a good partnership with your vendor. So we have some payers that are going to talk to, interviews with them and explain, how do they form those good partnerships that are long lasting. And we have many of those with our clients, which we love. And we love our clients that we can really value and have that type of relationship year after year. So we're looking forward to some great interviews.
Something I know you're really plugged into with Tower is we're talking about partnerships, but it's more than a word. I mean, there's a relationship there. There
Certainly.
is a move forward, because you can't stand alone in this industry. You really have to have, it's almost a
Right.
necessity to have good partners, so you have the cohesive force needed to succeed in this.
Oh yeah, of course, and having that reliability, that we try to have with our clients, and that's where we build those relationships year after year, because of having that essentially high level of service that they come to expect.
And if you already touched on it, but let's expand on it a little more about the importance of what we're trying to do here. I mean, just the fact that we get a chance to talk to you, we really are getting an opportunity to share with the WCI world, the importance of not only what you do, but the value of the partnerships.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, especially with WCI, and we love this conference because so many of those relationships that we continue to have today start at this conference or that we continue through this conference. Having the ability through WCI-TV, there's obviously many sponsorship opportunities out there that WCI puts out, but when we saw this pop up, I think it was 2015, that they were starting this, we thought, boy, this is a really unique opportunity to bring in more conversation on topics important to workers' compensation. And we've been able to do that year after year now, and we really value that. But I also ask thank you to you, Ed, and your team here, your professionalism at putting this on every year, and flawless, and the interviews may not be flawless all the time, but the rest of your team is, because if you didn't have that, we wouldn't want to sponsor this, and you do, and I think it's become a very valuable part of this conference.
Well, if the conference gets even a fraction of what we learn being here and working with great partners like Tower MSA, then it's a value to everyone involved. So I want to thank you so much for coming by and sharing that with us.
Of course, thank you, Ed.
And this is WCI-TV, sponsored by our friends at Tower MSA Partners.